Welcome, everybody. We are the COG Arcade, episode number 6. I got that right. It is me, Kirby, along with fellow gamer COGger Sean, John, and Jen.
Howdy.
Hello.
We are going to kick this party off. John, what do you got to say?
I've been up to actually quite a bit this week. Tomb Raider is amazing. That is all. I love that game. I just can't get enough of it. I'm having a hard time staying away from it because I'm reviewing a title for COG right now, Lego City Undercover. Under embargo right now, so I'm not sure how much I can say, but simply put, it's a Lego game. It's a lot of fun, and it really takes advantage of the Wii U.
But yeah, I haven't really touched mine much since release.
My review will be up on the 14th when the embargo drops. I will be getting, because I'm going to Toronto on the 14th for you, so I got to get that done and out because I'll have some more stuff to write. Was lucky enough to go to a media preview of an event in Toronto called Game On 2.0, museum exhibit from London, England. Museum name, but I'm pretty sure it's the Barbican. And they had every single game console you could possibly imagine, that some consoles I didn't even know existed.
The Amiga 32.
Yep. They had like the Japanese equivalent of the TurboGrafx 16. I took pictures. I'm going to be writing a preview piece up for the front end as well. This very busy weekend for me with work and all that stuff. But they had like Pokemon exhibits and like all the different Pokemons. They had the original Tron arcade unit, the Star Wars one. You know, the one you would sit in. They had that, but unfortunately it wasn't the one that you would sit in. It was a standing one version. You know, it's a ColecoVision there. They had a Hello Kitty Dreamcast, some old school pinball tables, pachinko, the original Pong. It was just really, really crazy experience. And
Did they have a Turbo Express?
I don't know.
That's like the handheld TurboGrafx.
Oh, yeah.
They had a whole handheld section. I'm planning to go back again. I went with Sean here from Zyntane from Kitchener. I went down with him, and we're planning to bring my son back, and he has a daughter who, Sydney, who's really into gaming as well, so we're going to make a trip of it and go down and check it out. So I have a little bit more time.
Good times.
Went to the arcade boxes right away. I actually got to play NBA Jam Tournament Edition as well. I wasted a lot of quarters back in the day on that game. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, they have over 150 playable games, straight from Pong up to Scribblenauts for the Wii U.
That's cool. Do you know if they have any plans to travel more with it, or is it sticking just to...
Everything's in Toronto.
Well, no, we talked to one of the museum guys, and there are a lot of museums that have them there. I'm not sure if they're going to have them out museums elsewhere.
It just sounds like a little slice of nerd heaven. I'm jealous.
Yeah. How long's the exhibit running?
Till September, I think.
Oh, really?
It's quite
There you go.
Oh, I might get to see it then.
The cool thing about it
Okay.
is that it's part of the admission price. You don't have to pay any special extra money to go see it.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Here's the big question, and it's for Jen.
Yep.
Did she tackle any of her backlog of games?
No, because I got into a certain closed beta.
A certain closed beta, which obviously she can't say.
Okay, I can't really talk about it, but there's blocks.
So how long did that take up your time for?
Yesterday, so I devoted quite a bit of time for research, you see.
Yes, we call it research.
So that took up quite a bit of my time, and I also did pick up Tomb Raider, which I want to say I'm maybe an hour and a half into. An initial first impression of it, though, is it's pretty fantastic, with the exception of all the QuickTime events. I'm not a big fan of that. We also did pick up Simcity, and I'm not sure if we'll touch base on the fiasco that is Simcity.
Oh, we will. Yeah. So
We'll get to that.
Get in a couple times. The servers seem to be somewhat stable now, and I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, but my daughter's been at it again. I called her today, and she says, "Mom, I'm sorry." I said, "What did you do?" And I hear sirens in the background, and I had a really nice city, and then I don't know what she added, like 3 sewage treatment plants, so there was like all kinds of air pollution. She raised the taxes to 20%. There's schools, because what happens is if you don't have any schools at no education, you have a bunch of stupid people, so that raises the crime rate. I think I'm gonna have to start over.
Well, at least he apologized.
Yeah, she laughed.
Maniacally.
Sounds like something my teenager would do as well.
All right, Sean, what did you play this week?
I devoted all my time to Tomb Raider. That's about it. I can't pull myself away from it at all. I'm about 50% of the way through the game. At least that's what it tells me on my save file. And once you're past the quick time events and stuff, Jen, it's amazing. The story is good.
Visually stunning.
Well,
Sure.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Though the only thing I would say that I would maybe like more of is like the optional tombs, the puzzles that you do in the tombs. I'd like a little bit more of that in the game itself. But I mean, that's a minor gripe. It is fantastic.
Wow. Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider. Well, I did play some Tomb Raider. But
Better.
I'm close to where Sean is, but I had some stuff I had to take care of, editing some reviews. But I also went back to Borderlands 2. I was online, and I got some new achievements and some new loot that I really could appreciate. So I'm back at Borderlands 2 and a Tomb Raider mix. So that's about it on my scope of gaming.
Is it bad that I'm hoarding golden keys in Borderlands?
You haven't even played the game.
I've got like 40 golden keys.
How many?
At least 40.
You're going to do nothing with them.
I've used 15 of them. I'm just like obsessive about like anytime Randy Pitchford or whatever posts on Twitter a code, I'm like all over it. And I've lucked out with a good 3 or 4 of the 5 key codes.
Did you use the Valentine's code?
There was a Valentine's code. I missed.
You got a special Moxie shotgun. So whatever level you were, it was the shotgun, and it like shot fire and stuff.
I can say that, and I haven't really said much about it, is I purchased a Surface RT. So I've been still chipping away at games on that tablet because they're all Xbox games, so you get achievements. Mm-hmm. Those are the only games I seem to be buying. And that's bad, because I want more achievements.
Kirby, by the way, I traded in Borderlands 2.
You what? That's it. We're divorced. That's it. It's over.
Don't hate me, but I wanted Tomb Raider. And I thought I didn't think I would ever play Borderlands 2 ever again, so I traded it in. And I don't know if you saw my rant, which I won't go into detail here on the podcast, but it was about trading in games.
Oh yes, EB's gotten bad. I totally understand.
That was pretty awful.
It's a whole nother episode.
I'm jealous of people who can actually like make themselves part with their games, because for whatever stupid reason, I can't part with my games.
My gaming, unfortunately, I'm in that position where I can't spend 70, especially in this season now where we have a game every week. So I have to take a look at my collection, think about what I'm really going to play. Fortunately, Borderlands, I'm not going to go into it, but it's just not my thing.
I'm going to buy you a copy of Borderlands. I'm going to engrave your name on the top so you can't trade it in. It'll say Genevieve's game.
Not for resale.
Boo.
Where do we go from here? I guess we can touch on our, Sean touched on the Tomb Raider experience. John and Jen, I don't know, you briefly touched it. So what do you think? A hit? A not a hit?
Oh, definitely a hit. There's not even a question.
It's the game that I wasn't expecting to. I'll be honest, I haven't really liked Tomb Raider.
Nor have I.
I'm the same boat as you, actually, John. I've never been a huge fan.
I really liked the arcade version, Guardians of the Light. That was a lot of fun, but that was more of a kind of like Geometry Wars type thing where you just move around and you're shooting and you're switching weapons and stuff like that. So it wasn't really a true Tomb Raider. I played the other 360 Tomb Raider, and it was enjoyable, but this one's just...
It's a much reboot, I think, for the series.
Did you hear they're making a movie based on the reboot of the game?
Yeah.
So Angelina Jolie's out.
The
thing is, with Jen, you guys are complaining about the QTEs, and I hate QTEs, but in the scheme of QTEs...
I don't mind them.
They were the lesser of
That's
the
why
evils.
I hate them, is I fail.
I really like
that you would fail, then you go back like 10 minutes and you have to build up to it again. Here you fail, it's like you just start over from.
You just do it right over again.
Yeah, that's the benefit. Some people they'll find, and I've been reading some forum posts amongst the interwebs, that they found that sometimes they feel like it holds their hand too much. I'm playing on normal just because I want to soak in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'll go back and search for all the hidden tombs and the hidden GPSs and the hidden...
You're actually playing through without doing that?
Yep.
Oh, I can't.
I will do
I'm
pieces
obsessive.
of it. I will do pieces of it, but there's just so much to collect. I'll never finish the story.
Oh, I search.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
So slow at games like that because I can't leave an area until I feel like I've fully found everything I want to find.
Kirby, if you come across a tomb, just do it because like the experience you get from it's just ridiculous. Like
I'll search the tombs.
Yeah, the tombs
That's
are
no
cool.
problem. But all the collectibles and the killing of the animals,
But you just not only 10 minutes ago you talked about how much of an achievement whore you were. Killing animals is an easy achievement.
I already got it. Tastes like chicken one.
it was a throwback to Fable. I'm like, oh, goddamn chickens.
What really strikes me about this game, and I'm gonna single out Jen here. Jen, who is a girl who games, not a girl gamer.
Okay. Yeah, get that right.
Lara Croft has been brought into more of the realm of a regular person again. Like they're not playing on her assets.
She doesn't have the boobs.
Yes. Like
but
the thing is, she's
wait.
also got the shorts that they used to put her in, and
Well, what about the first shot of her falling as Roth tries to grab her? And it's like a full-out cleavage shot. No, they're definitely focusing on boobs.
I have lots of ass shots too. Okay, right? But
just when you got your one shot.
You got to see her breast at the beginning. They passed the torch to the new Lara, and it was game on. But I do, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm a male. I like the female form, but I think they did a really good job of redesigning her too and making her who she is.
I think, I see where you're going. I think like they don't overdo it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not that she's easy on the eyes as a character, but they don't focus on it so much as they did in the other games. I mean, the story is carrying it more than anything.
I do want to hear her voice on like 1-900 Hot Talk.
I think the voice acting was very well done.
Our review's up on COG as we speak, and it was written by one of our new contributors. Her name's Alyssa, aka Alley Cat. But I like the approach she took in the review. She took it as it was a reboot. What they did and didn't do well. And you know what we haven't talked about? Multiplayer. Why? Because we don't care about it.
No, who cares?
I don't know if I'll ever bother.
I know.
And that's a shame because I know IDOS Montreal put in a lot of work to it. And I just don't see myself playing it.
But is that, to me though, it's not, I've said this time and time again, there's some games that don't need it, but it just seems like they always have to throw in some version of a multiplayer. And just some games don't. The experience doesn't lend itself to multiplayer. And yeah, technically, I guess it's a shooter, but that story stands on its own. You don't need a multiplayer.
They should have done a co-op. And how should they have done a co-op? Separate missions.
Double the boobs.
Wow, look at there's 4 boobs. All right, it's getting bad. But seriously, they could have done new missions where she did them with part of the friends that she found during the game.
Sam, the other one with the boobs.
There
we go.
But that would have been a great idea. I think that would have taken off more than an adversarial multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And do missions that are only co-op, and that would have probably had people working for the achievements that are co-op oriented.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm assuming. I mean, granted that it's been a successful game already. That they're looking 2 or 3 games ahead at this point. So
I think they've already sold over.
There was announced there's going to be a Tomb Raider 2.
I haven't played the game. And I know our river didn't spoil it, but they said that the ending leaves that door open to a next game. So, we all need to finish it because we're all digging in, except John, who better be doing his Lego review. But, it's...
Yes, Dad.
I think it's phenomenal. It's more than I had asked for. And I think the QTEs, although a pain in the ass, are the lesser of evils in the world of QTEs. So there's my silver lining.
Yeah. And they're minor, really. I mean, you don't really have to deal with them.
When I was at the X13 preview event in the Tomb Raider there, when Zyntane was talking to him, he was talking about how the QuickTime events were put there not really to piss people off, even though it seems to be doing that, but more to create suspense and that feeling of like, oh my god, trying to put yourself in Lara's shoes. Okay, we probably all did this one where you're going up the hill and you have to hit the left and right triggers going up the hill, climbing up all that stuff. Did you feel that was a lot more intense doing that?
I guess it adds to the experience, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's minor. You don't feel like you're being challenged or anything, but you feel like you're involved.
QuickTime events don't bother me that much. That is more, were they successful at that? I think to a certain degree.
I think so. Yeah.
But,
Well, if they wanted to create tension or stress, they could have done, what was that GameCube game?
Eternal Darkness is the only one that...
Yeah, that's the
Can you
game.
hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
yes.
All right, so I think we beat Tomb Raider to death.
It's good. Buy it. Go get it.
So speaking of tension and stress...
It's SimCity. I don't know why people are getting all like, oh my god, SimCity. Like, it's SimCity. What is so great about this game?
Well, Jen will tell us because she did the beta and she's, has some good impressions, so.
Too much though. Like I said, I wasn't able to play too much. I only had an hour playtime in the beta, which was kind of creepy. My final retail version is installed, so like I said, Hannah kind of screwed up my game, but it's SimCity, right? So it's city building and.
I've been trying to remain neutral and everybody loves to hate on EA. People are saying no, online should DRM only. But you listen to Maxis wanted to do something different. They said that included online because of the neighboring cities. People are saying just give us an online free patch. Let us play offline. But they're saying that defeats the purpose of what our game was supposed to be. It was supposed to allow and be new. This whole, if I had a city and Jen had a city and John had a city and of course Sean had a city, they would all affect the other cities, including our own. So that required online. So
I don't want somebody else's shitty city screwing with my fantastic one. I would prefer an option, like you say, to say, no, I want to play by myself. I don't play well with others.
But that defeats the purpose, I think, of what they wanted to do, because they wanted you, this puts a whole aspect of simulation into the game, because that keeps you on your toes. If John would put more sewage plants in and cancel all the schools and make his city a band of idiots, you'd
like my daughter did to mine.
Yes.
That just makes me want to phone John and say, John, fix your city or our friendship is over. I hate you.
Well,
you know what I mean? It just seems funny that I don't know. I would definitely think that a way to play solo without having to worry about anything else it's SimCity. I mean, I can get that they want to expand, but they should have removed the option to play by yourself.
I know Paul Hammer is working on our review as we speak, but he, has had his issues as well. But the one thing that I noticed reading the media, the vast amounts of media on this, EA never took blame. Like, they really kind of offloaded it to be that, we didn't expect this many people. There was all these kind of excuses. It wasn't just, it messed up, we need to fix it. Yeah. We're sorry. And now they're offering you a free game, but whoop-de-doo, right? I read a SimCity, like, not PR, but she was like a community manager, and when she was going on there explaining some of the reasons why this is happening, she was like, we want to see our reviews go back to where they were before all this happened. Because obviously people had reviewed it before the, quote, shit hit the fan. And then when it went live worldwide and everything hit the fan, reviewers went back and said, you know what, this is broken, this is bad, this is not the game I played a week ago.
But does that not that seems to me ridiculous. I mean, you're going to say that a temporary server issue affects the final score in a game you're going to play 6 months from now? I mean, that's why I say sometimes people, reviewers or whatever, you blow it out of proportion so quickly and like, it's such a huge deal. Let them. That doesn't take away from the game. It's still a good game.
But you can't play it right now. That's the key. Well, that sounds a bit Jen says.
Yeah.
Things are bad.
Well, I read a couple days ago, that they'd gotten a good number of the servers or whatever the issue was kind of back up to snuff, and they were slowly rebuilding.
But did they really not expect this? Like,
maybe a nice way for them to say
it. The beta testing, they only limited it to an hour per person, and they didn't let that many people hit it at once. So, obviously, they didn't stress test.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about how they don't really give a crap. After the first couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, the servers are going to be fine, because those millions of people are trying to log on. Yeah, it's going to crash it.
Exactly.
But they're building the servers for the lifetime of the game, not for that initial overload. Because people are going to play it for a month, and bam, it's going to be back to those people who are in love with that game playing. The servers are going to be fine. It's just this initial...
EA always seems to hit the limelight when this happens. There's always problem with EA games online, be it from Tiger Woods, be it from NHL. FIFA not so much.
Yeah.
Madden has its issues at launch. Now Battlefield had its issues. Now this game, which is a big game, like read comments on news articles, the communities are just up arms with EA. And I'm not bashing EA. I don't want to bash them because they've made some good games.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they always seem to mess it up. And you know what? Activision has been guilty of messing it up, but they don't seem to get this kind of negative press. Ubisoft messed up some of their Uplay stuff, and some online features occasionally, but they don't take this much negative press.
Yeah.
It's just EA. EA just, as soon as this happens, whoosh.
That, and I mean, EA has got to be like they're the one company that gamers love to hate for whatever reason. So it just seems to be that's kind of like the angle that they're going at. I think it's a fiasco they'll get over.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. As you said, 6 months from now, all the Simcity people will be like building their cities and bonding with their neighboring cities and creating band of idiots in some of these cities. And I think it's just a matter of time. But it's too bad that a game that was so anticipated had such a negative start.
I'm sure you're excited for this announcement from Gearbox of the new Borderlands 2 DLC. That's New Vault Hunter.
New Vault Hunter.
And
yes and no.
They say that Gearbox teased that deep beneath Pandora, an experiment has escaped. Bandits beware, a new Vault Hunter is coming. Now more mayhem awaits.
Well, he's melee-based, and I've never been a melee-based character fan. That's just my kind of gaming. But others are excited, and that is going to bring it back. But you know what you really still haven't heard much of? Level cap increase.
It was coming at some point.
It was on Major Nelson's podcast, which I listened to him, being a Microsoft MVP. But that being said, you haven't heard anything since then. So it's like...
Well, they've also said that it's not confirmed, but there was speculation that they're ready to release another full season of
doesn't matter,
DLC.
though. Jen sold the game.
More stuff.
And you know what she sold it for? A game with a woman in it.
That's right.
See?
Hey, there's
no, don't
say that though. There's a siren. The siren, she's a good girl.
Sort of.
There you go.
And so is the Necromancer.
She's a robot girl.
Whatever, she's freaking awesome.
You can program her to listen to you. Sorry, Jen.
Oh.
Does she come with an off button?
Or mute.
Mute.
Sorry, Jen. Sorry. I gotta keep the peace here. But yeah, I think it's gonna be great. By the sounds of it, it's not gonna be too long either with the announcement, because it was at that South by Southwest conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That their schedule is quite strict in terms of their DLC, and they said you're gonna see this character sooner than later. So,
Well, they've been really quick. I mean, didn't they even release Necromancer like a week before their target?
Well, it was a DLC.
It was an early release,
It was,
too.
what was it, John? It was a reward, too,
Yeah.
wasn't it, for those who pre-ordered?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they got that out right away.
Yeah.
It's the man who hoards 40 golden keys.
I've used some of them.
I have 19, and I thought I was doing well.
This DLC, though, is not going to be included with the Season Pass.
Oh no, you're right. No. I believe it's the last piece of.
This is the last
season
piece
pass
of
DLC.
season pass DLC.
Yep.
That's my understanding.
Well, that's not whatever. I read something that's a little bit against that. I forget the guy's name, but he's saying no, it's not part of this is standalone. They'll buy it separately.
Who did our research? This is crap.
Jan, way to go.
Something I want to talk about is I'm sure Sean wants to talk about. We talked about it a little bit in the last podcast about Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. There's it's actually official now.
Well, yeah, we were speculating the last podcast, right? And it was leaked or announced a day later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means we can all basically see the future. We're awesome.
Okay, so can somebody answer me something then? All right, we've got Black Flag pirates, our Billy. But the thing is why so quick? Why just dump Connor after one?
I think it has to do because it's not Ubisoft Montreal doing this one. They haven't said who's developing it, but because it's different studios, I think they just had a plan. Okay, this studio is going to do Connor, this studio is going to do Edward, and they want to move on and just kind of expand the universe a little bit.
So we get like an Assassin's Creed 3.5, which is like the next adventures of Connor. Like all that work, like that Assassin's Creed 3 was the first Assassin's Creed to get me excited for the game. I'd never really played them. And don't get me, I haven't played Assassin's Creed 3. I have it in plastic sitting downstairs, but I at least bought it. I haven't bought any of the other Assassin's Creed games. I was like, cool, new story, and then all of a sudden they just leave it, and now it's Pirates. And I'm going to be playing Pirates of the Caribbean.
But look, when COG did the biggest disappointments, there were a lot of people that threw out AC3 as their biggest disappointment. So maybe they're going, you know what?
Okay, but what was that?
The character was interesting, but you know what? Maybe let's just move it in another direction. Maybe we'll go.
But where were the disappointments? A lot of it was technical.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was gameplay.
But a lot of people found it boring. Like, it was forever to actually get interested in it.
For you, it was what? Sorry, you kind of cut out.
It was the story. I didn't, it wasn't captivating. It wasn't bad. I've played games of worse storyline.
And I know Jen played it from start to finish. Jen?
No, I haven't. I haven't finished it yet.
Pardon me?
I haven't finished it yet. It's in my backlog. But I will say that I struggle. I'm still kind of, I want to say I'm maybe 6 hours in, maybe. And, the beginning's pretty slow.
It was the story for John.
I was asking Jen that is she Connor yet in the game?
Oh. I am Connor in the game, yep.
Okay, so 6 hours is
that's where it picks up.
The precipice for becoming, for going from Hatham to Connor, so it does ramp up a little bit. I think they just one-shotting Connor because if you get to the ending, it kind of somewhat ends the game. Ends the storyline for Desmond.
Maybe that's what they're going to do. We're just hypothesizing here, but maybe they're just going to do more offshoot one character, end it, move on to the next, kind of keep it fresh instead of dragging it out across 2-3 chapters, which means 2-3 game releases. Rest in peace, Connor.
Who knows what the...
All right, back to Black Flag.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research beforehand. It was a lot more information came out. But 40% of the storyline is supposed to be naval battles this time around. And with those naval battles, you can be able to upgrade your ship a lot more, upgrade your crew. One disappointed though is that they are doing multiplayer, but not multiplayer naval battles, which I thought would be really, really cool to just.
It's kind of a gimme almost.
Why wouldn't you? Why aren't you doing it? And I know a lot of people are asking, hey, what are you going to do now that it's not Desmond? And I don't remember if I talked about it in the last podcast, but it's confirmed that you are an employee of Abstergo Entertainment, and you're a researcher, and you're looking into Edward Kenway's life and gathering information. So they say that you're the researcher yourself. So basically, I boot up the disc on my 360 or whatever console I'm playing it on, and I'm logging in as John, an Abstergo employee, and I'm researching this game, and everybody's kind of researching. I'm not sure if it's going to reveal more of a story. Who knows?
That's an interesting way to do it.
I love the logo. I think
Jen's going to have a quilt with a little Black Flag logo. It's all black.
It is a pretty cool.
I love the Assassin's Creed symbol with a skull in the middle. I think that's very cool. So I'll definitely need a T-shirt or a hoodie or something with that.
I'd like to see it. They haven't released a T-shirt that has all, because depending on where the assassin's from, there's the different style of Assassin's Creed logos. That would be a really pretty kick-ass shirt.
And all I can say is they better have a flag.
They have they've released a hoodie. They've released a hoodie for it and a T-shirt already. But I've talked about getting an
limited edition of Assassin's Creed 3, I think, had
a flag.
The flag in it.
I got the flag.
I'm missing out if they don't make a flag. Just saying.
I was looking at the notes for this about the inclusion of whaling, and I remember reading some things that there's people that are actually up in arms and really upset over the fact that they want to put whaling into this game. And to that I say, get over it. You've got to be kidding me. It's a bloody game. Find something worth whining about. It's ridiculous.
It's the same group who attacked Pokemon.
Oh, it's a joke.
I'm surprised they haven't gotten on the Tomb Raider bandwagon about all the animals.
Well, seriously, what's next? Are you going to have Westboro Baptist hanging out front of out front of Ubisoft. It's ridiculous. It's one of the most silly things to watch.
Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah, no kidding. It's ridiculous. It's a game, and it's historically accurate. It's what they did. They're not saying, okay, everybody who plays this game, go buy a spear and let's go hunt some whales. It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
Well, I saw a quote that they put on Facebook, and they put, "History is our playground in Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is a work of fiction that depicts real events during the golden era of pirates. We do not condone illegal whaling, just as we don't condone a pirate lifestyle of poor hygiene, plundering, hijacking ships, and over the legal limit drunken debauchery." So I thought that was a great response on their part.
Theme song from Pirates of the Caribbean and Disneyland. Pirates like.
I remember I was there recently.
Awesome. I just hijacked this conversation.
I was going to say, back to the logo, Jen. I love it too. And I've wanted an Assassin's Creed tattoo for a while, so I'm getting the Black Flag tattoo.
That's
nice.
pretty cool.
Next month for my birthday.
Are you going to get a tramp stamp? I told...
It's going on my shoulder. And if you get a tramp stamp of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I will too.
Sign me up. Watch her get a Sharpie.
It'll be podcasting.
Ever see that in Starship Troopers? They all get the tattoos. All the grunts. They all get
you were
tattoos.
testing my nerd cred. I don't remember Starship Troopers much at all.
So, yeah, I remember that.
I was watching it last weekend, actually.
What, nerd cred for John? Nice.
All right, so what else have we got? News and rumors. Oh, yes, the new Thief game from IDOS Montreal.
Yes.
I don't know. What I do like about it is they've said strictly next-gen consoles. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
But they've got a lot to live up to. I mean, you're talking about a game that really, it inspired, a game that we're talking about right now. I mean, Assassin's Creed is definitely, they took a lot from Thief when they were looking at that. So, I mean, it's got a lot to live up to, and a lot of fans from previous games that are going to be disappointed if they F it up. They got to do it right.
What are your guys' thoughts?
I know nothing about this game. I don't know if it's before my time or it's just something I missed. Like, what console was it on?
Nor do I. Yeah.
Well, it is definitely kind of a lot of people consider it
PC. Was it on PC?
It was, if I'm not mistaken, it did come to console. But that being said, it is the game that's seen as kind of some say even molding the Splinter Cell series when it first started. Like the whole stealth, sneak around.
And that's probably why I've never heard of it, because me and stealth, yeah.
What about you and stealth? Let's hear about it.
I'm not, they're not my, stealth isn't my strength. I'll just leave it at that.
You just go in there guns blazing?
Oh yeah, running gun.
I'm the polar opposite. I'm definitely stealth. So the gameplay.
Call me Leroy, like I said.
Hey, speaking of that, that reminds that Wreck-It Ralph with my kiddo over the week here, and when you pause Blu-ray, they actually have like an intermission come up, and the intermission as it's going through is basically telling you all like the nerd geek references that they put into the game for gamers that to catch. And one of the things that I got quite a kick out of is when they go into Game Central Station, there's graffiti all over the walls, and if you keep an eye out, you've got Leroy Jenkins graffiti, you've got all your base or belong to us graffiti, Shoryuken.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I mean that and characters too. I mean, you'll notice like way off far in the background, almost just a speck, but you'll see a character from like a big high profile game. You're like, holy crap! Like it's really they did a really good job of paying homage to a lot of games. It's fun to keep an eye out for it.
It's funny, my daughter, when I was playing Metal Gear Rising, she heard the alert sound, and she's like, I know that from Wreck-It Ralph. So.
There you go.
Well, just quickly about Thief, it was in 1998 it started, it was a PC game, and then the third game in the series was released on the Xbox, and that was the last game. So this being the fourth, it's going to be, at least in terms of PlayStation 4, they say, but we know at least it's next-gen consoles. So for those out there listening to our podcast, if we're not sounding Thief educated, it's not because we don't like it. We just aren't. It's just,
Well, I played the crap out of Thief. I don't know. I'm educated. I loved it. It was awesome.
I was never a PC gamer, and I was late to the console cycle for the original Xbox. I had it maybe for a year before I got a 360. That's probably why I didn't.
Well, Thief 3, I guess, would have been the one on the Xbox. If I'm remembering right, it probably was the most ill-received of them, to be honest. The first one really set a benchmark. I think, and the second was pretty good too. But the third one, I mean, at least for me, I remember not being.
Well, listen, the first two were released by Looking Glass Studio, and the other two were released, one by Ion Storm, and the other two, meaning the fourth one, is going to be released by Eidos Montreal. So they've had their fair share of developers. Walking Dead Season 2. We've heard announcements about that. We haven't heard a lot, but...
Oh, yeah, that's this holiday, I believe.
I haven't even played the first one.
I got the free one to try.
Do that. Get off and go play now.
Well, I am actually reading. I just showed Sean. I've got the hardcover versions of The Walking Dead. So there's 8 of them, and I've got the first 2. I'm actually going to start reading them. They're like $35 a pop, though, and I told my wife there was 8 of them. She almost hit me with one of them.
She's
I'm going to actually
encourage you to read.
Well, they got pictures.
So.
But I'm gonna read the whole series to see what it's all about. But I do plan to play it. It's my backlog, Jen.
Yeah, he'll get around to playing it as soon as you get around to playing El Shaddai.
Oh yeah, that's the great deal, Jen. You play El Shaddai and finish it, and then I'll chip away at Walking Dead.
By the way, you said I wouldn't even touch it, but I did.
You only did that out of spite. I'll show them.
I got an achievement, I think.
Okay, so I do like what that was mentioned here about the first Steam box will launch this holiday season. I actually just read about that this morning on, anybody ever go to the app called Appy Geek?
No.
It's kind of like a summary site of kind of headlines. And this is one of the ones that was floating around about this Steam box launching for a G-Note.
It's a lot of coin.
It's a lot of coin for a Steam box.
I could build a computer myself for about $600 that's just as good. Like, they're pandering to people who just don't know any better.
But the thing is isn't the first Steam box, like, it's really tiny, like they're new in terms of the design. It's a modular design.
I got a question for you.
Shoot.
Would you pay $1,000 for it if it came with Half-Life 3?
That's still
Why'd you have to do that?
That's still a stretch.
Why you gotta be like that?
Nope.
Well,
I wouldn't.
No?
No, that's too much.
People.
Put it this way.
I wouldn't either, but I
was gonna say, for $1,000, if you think about it, with the next Xbox and PlayStation 4, that'll probably buy both of those for me, or pretty close. So I'd rather take that money and buy those rather than a Steam box.
But they won't have Half-Life.
Well, when you look at this, I've seen pictures of it. I think this company actually started on Kickstarter as well. It's a neat design, and it's tiny for like what's going to be a somewhat powerful PC rig. Not top of the line, don't get me wrong. And it's modular. You can change the SSD. I think you can change the video card. Of course, you can add more memory. But yeah, $1,000 just to get in the door. I don't know. Is Steam really that? Who was it? Was it Xbox or PlayStation who said that the Steam box is not a competitor? They don't even
view it as a competitor.
It was a quote last week. I don't know. Anyways, people aren't taking Steam seriously yet. So in terms of the Steam box, not Steam as a service. So I think it'll be really interesting to see where it goes and if this box flops or not. Do we know? I don't know, and I'm going to throw it out to you guys. It's Valve and Steam, right? Mm-hmm. Are they offering their own Valve-branded Steam box? Are they working on one?
Yes.
So that's...
I thought they were. I thought that's where earlier this year at...
That's what I thought, too. And I think it's funny how there's really nothing about it yet, and I think that's going to be the gauge of what a Steam box is really all about.
I think
the Steam box, it's a piston. Okay, so I hadn't read anything, so I wasn't sure if they had actually announced their branded box.
No, they haven't. So
okay.
I'll be in at the price drop.
I don't think they officially announced a Valve Steam box. Yeah. I think Gabe Newell was talking about it, saying that nothing's coming this year. It is something that we want to work on. So that's kind of as official as you can kind of get it. It's just like, it's something that's in our plans to do. To figure out a little bit, but $1,000 just way too much money with Half-Life 3.
Yeah. Especially we're going to be paying anywhere between $3.99 and $4.99 for our next gen consoles, and I know I have to have one of each. Just the way I roll.
I made a deal with my wife actually that if we can get both consoles through me trading stuff towards it and everything, if I can get both under $500 cash, that we'll buy both. So basically, if I can get $500 trade credit by this Christmas, then I can have both consoles. Otherwise, I got to pick one. It's not a bad.
And the Xbox it'll be.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. The last thing to talk about, which I thought was really, really neat, I was reading about it today, that a father hacked Donkey Kong for his daughter so he can play as a girl rather than Mario, because she didn't want to play as a guy rescuing the girl. She wanted to be the girl rescuing the guy. If you go to the article there, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's a video of it and Donkey Kong, but the roles are reversed. What do you guys think of that?
Sometimes, and I may sound a bit controversial here, but I think sometimes these feminist issues are just, I think it's cool and everything, but I don't know. I think it's taking it a bit too far.
How old's the girl? I mean, was it for like 8-year-old or 9-year-old little girl or something? He's just doing something to make a little girl happy. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal.
And from what I gathered,
not a big deal. Oh, no.
She's 6 or 7.
I think it's cool. I'm with John.
Pardon me?
I think it's cool. I said I'm with John. I think it's cool.
At the end of the day, it doesn't bother me, but it's still not Mario.
No, yeah, I always had to play as Mario.
I mean, if you're gonna hack games, do like awesome hacks, like what was like hot coffee or whatever. Now that's a hack worth having.
Hot coffee. Oh my.
Oh jeez, where did his fur go?
All right, John, you want to talk about a contest for a gear shirt?
Yeah, so at the X13 spring show there, I got a couple T-shirts. One of them I kept just because it's awesome. It's for Tomb Raider, but I got a Gears of War Judgment T-shirt that is pretty cool, and I wanted to give it away through the podcast, and we'll probably throw some stuff up on Facebook and the Game Canadian community and things like that. Try to figure out a way to give it away. I don't know if we'll just do it random. Anybody who listens to the podcast.
I need to start getting inventive.
You know what we should do?
People need to submit videos saying something ridiculous.
Name the game that Jen finishes first from her backlog.
We'll never give away a shirt.
I got one. How about this? How about in the comment section on the front page for this podcast, name the game that I traded in?
For Tomb Raider?
Ooh.
How about that?
Yeah,
I like it.
Now we know we But you got to post in the comments.
Sounds
all right,
good.
people, so we will sum it up.
How about that? Or
chance to win the Gears of War Judgment shirt, you must name the game that Jen traded in to get Tomb Raider, and you must put that name of the game in the comment section for this podcast.
Check us out on GameCanadian.com for the community. The front end is CanadianOnlineGamers.com. Go there, and that's where you can enter the contest. We're on YouTube.com/GameCanadian on the COG Arcade playlist. You can find us on iTunes. Twitter is the COG Arcade, as well as Game Canadian for the front end, all that news and reviews. Jen's at Jen Dingle. There's Kirby_Y. I'm at Johnny XCO. And call me Sean P. Did I get that right?
Call me Sean P. You betcha.
Couldn't be simple.
All right.
That is simple.
But I just wanted to do a little plug. I spoke with somebody from 505 Games from the Terraria team, and they want to come on to the podcast. So hopefully we'll have them on the next one, and we have that to look forward to. That's it, everyone.
Hey.
Have a good one, and thanks for